Hello, and welcome to a spooky Frontrunner Motorsport. Curses are very scary. You should always avoid being cursed. James Dean is a very good example. Not only did he lose his life, but his cursed Porsche went on to take many more lives in the years since. James Dean was a car fan and a racer. Imagine the excitement as he brought his Porsche 500 Spider in 1955, not knowing his fate, even after fellow actor Alec Guinness warned him, "If you drive this car, you will be dead within a week." Within a week, James Dean was dead. He was speeding down Route 66 with his road crew on the way to a race meeting. Stuntman Bill Hickman followed in his truck, and Porsche engineer Rolf Wöhverich accompanied the speeding Dean when a Ford pulled out in front of him. Dean had no time to stop, and whilst Wöhverich was thrown clear and survived, James Dean was killed. But that is not the end of the story for the Porsche 550 Spider, affectionately known by Dean as Little Bastard. Dr. William Eskrike brought the engine from a scrapyard and stripped it for parts, putting the engine in his Lotus 9 race car, whilst lending the suspension and gearbox to fellow racer Troy McHenry. They both competed in a race at Pomona. William Eskrike crashed and survived. So not cursed, right? Wrong. McHenry in the same race hit a tree and was killed to death. The rest of the car was put on display for a few years. You could go see the mangled remains of the Porsche that killed a man if you so wanted. I guess there was less to do in the late 50s. No laser tag and all. In 1959 it was put in storage and mysteriously caught fire. Whilst not quite burning down a collection of expensive cars, it also received very little damage, just some light singeing. Even the smallest parts were known to cause carnage. 2 tyres were sold to someone. They then both blew at the same time and sent the person into a ditch. This is unsubstantiated. There's more. The car, whilst on tour, fell off of its display. Some poor onlooker suddenly had a Porsche on top of them, breaking their hip. They were heard to say, "Ooh, you little bastard." As a final display of rebellion, Little Bastard, whilst on the road safety tour, landed on top of one of the drivers transporting it, killing him, ironically. Its last act was to disappear in 1960, just vanish into thin air. It has not been seen in the 62 years since, acting out once again in one final show of angst. A rebel without a cause, if you will. Little Bastard was gone. So is any of this true? Possibly not. The 2 drivers racing with pieces of the car crashing in the same race may just be a coincidence in a very dangerous era of racing. The rest of the stories may have been fantasy, created by owner George Barris. Barris brought the car after it came into his shop, and this is when the legends begin. All the stories surrounding the car start with him, and there are more. The car fell on an engineer, breaking his leg. There was a thief who got a broken arm, and another mechanic has a leg broken by the door falling off. A lot of these accidents involve the car or pieces of the car falling on people, which probably means George Barris made them all up, to give people a reason to come see it when he put it out on tour, with a sign that read James Dean's last sports car. He was a showman and he knew how to pique people's curiosity. A piece of the car recently sold at auction for over $400,000, a very pricey sum, so the stories around James Dean and the car clearly have value. It makes for a great story, but I fear they may be just that, a very good story. Not that it matters on a Halloween evening. What we are all here for are good stories. And the story of James Dean's cursed Porsche Little Bastard joins the fables of this special night. Or maybe it's all real, and the Porsche is responsible for many unlucky events and tragedies that we will never find out about. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like and tell your friends. Enjoy the rest of Halloween. Thank you for watching and have a good one.